Okay, so we're back here at Scott Field Day and we're with Eric again, and now we're talking foxtail barley and wheat. So let's just start with most perennial weeds, I guess, are best hit in the fall with herbicide. Is foxtail barley like that?
For the most part, yes. The foxtail barley being a perennial, and it is a weed that is becoming somewhat more problematic with zero-till growers and perhaps a little more salinity. And generally speaking, if you look at the work that was done by Bob Blackshaw a few years back, he did get much better control if he applied glyphosate in the fall compared to applying it in the spring. So in the late fall with perennials, they tend to be getting ready for the winter, so they're moving their assimilates down. And if you apply a herbicide that translocates, it'll tend to translocate to the roots a little better as well. Now, there is some contradiction in terms of the research, because Ken Sapsford at the University of Saskatchewan also did some work, and he found spring application to work fairly well as well, provided that he didn't apply the glyphosate too early. And if he applied it too early when there wasn't a lot of leaf material, then he got very poor control. If he waited 3 weeks and maybe seeded a later maturing crop, or earlier maturing crop, he actually got very good control. I have just 1 year of experience, and both my fall and spring applications were very good. Now with the spring application, I will point out though that we had pretty good growth and pretty good conditions, and our foxtail barley was in quite good shape. So I don't think we had any trouble with absorption and uptake of the herbicide in the spring.
Your quite good shape is a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, it's quite a huge, yeah.
By what's behind you.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, if you're looking at it from a farmer perspective, you wouldn't use those terms, that's for sure, yeah.
Do you know how the pre-harvest and post-harvest compared for glyphosate?
Yeah, again, that's Bob's work, and he found that with the pre-harvest that you can get some senescence, and during that time period, especially as the soil's drying out, and you might not have quite as good uptake at that time. So there was not really an advantage, from what I understand, from pre-harvest compared to post-harvest. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the study that you're working on right now then.
Okay, well, what got me interested in foxtail barley is I've been working with a product called pyroxasulfone, and pyroxasulfone is a new mode of action. It's group 15, soil applied, and we've been looking at it for wild oat control in cereals and pulse crops. And I've also been looking at it in terms of will it control brome grasses like downy brome and Japanese brome in winter wheat, and I found that it's actually quite effective on those two species. So I got thinking, well, maybe it might be effective on foxtail barley as well. And so we have a fall versus spring application of glyphosate and pyroxasulfone together, and glyphosate by itself. And then we've also thrown Everest in the mix, fall applied, or Everest actually applied in crop to control any sort of seedlings that might escape from the pyroxasulfone. In terms of the improvement in control over glyphosate by itself, the initial improvement, we don't see much difference. However, what's really showing up this year is that the pyroxasulfone residues is doing a very nice job of controlling the regrowth. So new seedlings are not coming like we see in glyphosate by itself. So it's just our first year, and we'll be repeating it.
The pyroxasulfone?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the recropping restrictions on that, and some information on that?
Well, it is a residual. We are working on recropping right now. It's not registered in Canada, but wheat tolerance is very good. I don't think you'll be able to use it in barley or durum wheat. Peas, the tolerance is very good. Of course, oats, the tolerance is not very good. So there'll probably be a recropping restriction on oats, but it's not really a long residual. So I don't think there'll be a lot of recropping restrictions.
Are there any other major weeds that you think it'll hit?
Actually, it's effective on some broadleaf weeds like cleavers, very effective on cleavers on soils, provided they don't get up to 8 or 9% organic matter. And we do see some activity on kochia and some other weeds as well.
How long till it's registered in Canada?
It's registered in Eastern Canada. It may be registered in Western Canada in the next year or two.